Hi fam, Sarah Lale here, and this is Travel Talk Tuesday with Sarah. And today we'll be talking about how I was denied US visa. After visiting 6 African countries, US visa was the 3rd visa I would ever apply for because I needed to go on a work trip to Mexico. And if you have a US visa, you can go to Mexico without a visa. So I was pretty excited, a bit anxious, but everything checked out. I was not even going to sponsor it. My company was sponsoring, so I had no worries. I knew I was going to get it. I had done all the processes by myself. In fact, I got an appointment by myself. I didn't need an agent. Everything looked so good. And then I got there, and during the interview, I made a very crazy mistake. I told them I was going to Mexico instead of the US. I didn't know it mattered. I didn't think it mattered. Right now, thinking about it, I feel so foolish, but I guess that could happen to you. And then the consular asked me, the interviewer asked me, where are you going? I said, oh, I'll be going to Mexico. She asked me again, you'll be going to Mexico? I said yes. She was like, I'm sorry, you do not qualify for this visa. And I was confused, like, what did I do wrong? I was so angry and confused, like, what could I possibly do wrong? Then it was later I learned from an agent that it was the answer to my question that got me disqualified. Maybe I would have gotten a US visa by now. Very sad, right? So why am I sharing this story? I'm sharing the story because a lot of times online, you don't get a lot of these stories in order to know what we are supposed to do when we are faced with situations like this. So after that time, I had to get a Mexico visa and a France transit visa, and I eventually went to Mexico anyway. How to help you get a US travel visa if you are traveling to the US, or if you're not traveling to the US, you just need to transit. You should know that they expect you to be traveling to the US to give you a US visa. You could I even got to know eventually that I could have applied for a US transit visa, but I just wanted to kill two birds with one stone. It would be cool to have a US visa, right? But it didn't work out. But it could have worked out. It could have worked out if I had known that I was supposed to say I was going to the US first instead of Mexico. So that's a lesson that you could learn. And also, I did everything right except the interview. So if you want like a breakdown of how I applied for my US visa, everything I did, I have a blog post on it. So just type US blog post in the comments, and I'll send all you need to know to your DM and all you need to prepare in order not to get your US visa denied. Trust me, I was heartbroken and everything, but I felt better when I realized. I didn't feel better, but it made sense to me while they would deny me when I realized the mistake I made. They might be denying you for very obvious reasons. So before you reapply for that US visa, ensure to detect why they are denying you so you can reapply better. Ensure you apply by yourself. Don't use an agent. And even if you use an agent, ensure to reread your application form and get all the finest, tiniest details in order for you not to get denied, because during the interview you'd also hear other people's interviews, and there were people that didn't even know where they were going because an agent filled it for them. There were people that didn't even know how to answer. A woman said she had never been out of the country, and yet in her document the consular was like, oh, it shows here that you've been to 2 countries. We were just laughing while we were on the queue. So let me know, have you ever been denied any visa? Share your experience with me in the comments below. See ya. Bye.